Between the nations of England and France, there exists Nirvana, an island of true happiness, where its stunning landscape is only matched by the beauty of its people. That's Jersey. This is a beginner's guide to Guernsey. This video was funded in full by the State of Jersey, Visit Jersey, and the Dolphin. The island is 14 kilometers high by 5 wide, and as you've probably noticed, is in the exact shape of dog poo you've stood in. Guernsey is, in fact, the second largest Channel Island, also supporting the second highest population and the second highest number of tax frauds. Despite being second in almost everything, most people will rank it third amongst the Channel Islands. The US state of New Guernsey is often not mistaken for this island, as it doesn't exist. Even New Jersey has some standards, and making a new Guernsey would be like making a new Mortal Engines. As stated on its website, it's home to 65,000 happy people, presumably setting its total population in the 3 to 7 million range. It's home to Guernsey, a local language unique to this island. The language has fallen into disuse and is on the verge of extinction. Despite strong efforts from the Worldwide Language Protection Fund, Guernsey is yet to be fully eradicated. Roads in Guernsey have a unique, incomplete design philosophy, best showcased in the 1.5 lane vehicle width down many of its two-way streets. In the event you encounter a bus along these lanes, the polite thing to do is to swerve into the nearest stone wall. Among Guernsey's greatest monuments is the world's second oldest postbox, the oldest one being located in a more presentable island some 20 miles to its east. If you do find yourself in Guernsey, you would be missing out to not immediately visit the ferries or the local airport, as they are the quickest ways to leave, and Blue Islands do a very affordable one-way trip to Jersey. The traditional name for somebody from Guernsey is a donkey. If you're wondering why they're called that, you've clearly never met one. The name dates back to medieval times, where donkeys were used to carry farm equipment up steep hills, and has been reinforced in more recent history by most of the islanders behaving like asses. It is tradition on their 18th birthday for a Guernsey male to receive a card from his mother and sister, telling him how sexy she thinks he is. This is repeated every year until a more attractive relative replaces him. The biggest music event for the youth of Guernsey is a festival called Weekender, which takes place in a more stylish island, roughly 22 miles east of Guernsey. Many people aren't aware that Victor Hugo actually wrote Les Miserables while exiled in Guernsey. They say an artist must suffer for his art, so Victor Hugo went to Guernsey. There is currently a fund towards hosting a performance of Les Mis in Guernsey, so that somebody from there has seen it, but this fund has struggled to gain traction due to it largely being considered a waste of money. Little known fact, but the world-famous actor known for roles such as Superman, The Witcher, and that man from The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Henry Cavill, was actually born just 20 miles east of Guernsey, in a quaint little island called Jersey. Guernsey doesn't have the horrible tax-dodging reputation that Jersey has. When asked if she would like to funnel her money through Guernsey, the Queen informed her royal accountant she would rather just pay the tax. As a result, Guernsey ranks number 1 in the world for financial due diligence. The government of Guernsey, or the Bailiwick of Guernsey, is actually a coalition of Sark, Herm, and Guernsey. The logic being that with 3 additional islands, they now have the combined bargaining power of 3 respectable islands. Besides the finance sectors that Guernsey thrives in, but not as much as Jersey, Guernsey has many other thriving industries. Guernsey cows are world famous and great substitutes for people who can't afford Jersey cows. Guernsey also has a rich history of producing woolen jumpers, or jerseys as some might say. Some of this may sound a little negative, but just remember the Board of Tourism slogan, Visit Guernsey. Great alternative instead of another visit to Jersey. Unexplored locations. Go where no tourist has been before and visit the wildlife of St. Peter Port Town Centre. Exotic, from the lush landscape to the smell of the people. Roads. Guernsey has them. No refunds. Sand. Many of Guernsey's beaches have recorded sand. Enjoyable times to be had. You simply have to visit this jewel of the Channel Islands. Paid for in full by the State of Jersey.